and welcome to the Social Security Show. Once again, I'm your host, Daniel Summers, a public affairs specialist in the Chicagoland area. But I'm not alone. Today, we have another public affairs specialist from Chicago, and I'd like to introduce you to...
Hello, everyone. My name is Josephine Mueller, and I am also a public affairs specialist in the Chicagoland area here today, and we're excited to be here with you. We have lots of great information in store for you today, but first we want to go ahead and read this disclosure. Participation in this presentation does not constitute an endorsement by the Social Security Administration or its employees of the organizations and information and products not provided by SSA. But I'm going to go ahead and pass it back over to Mr. Summer, where he's going to tell you a little bit more about how we are with you throughout life's journey.
Thank you, Josephine. And indeed, we are with you throughout life's journey, even when that journey takes a detour. Today, we're going to talk to you about the two programs that Social Security has for individuals who find themselves disabled. That's right. I've been back in the mailroom, Josephine, and I've been reading those Dear Mr. Social Security letters that they send me. And we've got so much information and so many questions from real people today that you're going to be informed. If SSI or disability is your thing, or you're interested in, if you're receiving it, or even just thought about filing it, this is the place for you today. So we're going to move right on to the next slide, because as we said, we're with you through life's journey, and we're going to be there right from the beginning. Here we go. To start this off, I'm going to ask that question that was asked of me, Josephine. What is the difference between disability and SSI? Now, I think you're so good at disability, Josephine, that I'm going to let you answer that part about disability, and I'll talk a little bit about SSI. And I think we got a couple of slides here just to illustrate some of the points.
That is great. Well, sounds good. I am eager to give you a little bit of information in regards to Social Security disability. So when someone applies for the Social Security disability program, they're essentially drawing from the FICA taxes, or they're drawing from what they've paid into Social Security. So when we're working, we're paying into FICA taxes, and we're paying into Social Security's programs such as Social Security Retirement, Disability, and Medicare. So when somebody draws Social Security disability benefit, it's based off of their earnings, what they've worked and paid into Social Security. And in order to be eligible for Social Security disability benefits, an individual has to be unable to work due to the disability, and the disability has to be found to last 1 year or more, or result in someone's passing. So essentially, Social Security disability benefits are benefits that when we are working, we are paying into the system in case the unexpected does happen and we were to become or become disabled. So I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to you, Mr. Summers, so you can give us a little bit of a snapshot in regards to SSI.
Thank you very much, Josephine. SSI, if you'll move 2 slides forward, is also a program for an individual who finds themselves disabled. However, SSI is a little different from disability. Now, the same conditions that might lead you to disability, that illness, injury, or condition that is expected to last a year or more, or may result in death and prevent you from making substantial wages, that same thing that might qualify you for disability may qualify you for SSI. So what's the difference? Well, for one thing, unlike disability, SSI has nothing to do with how much you've worked or FICA taxes you've paid. And in fact, there are lots of people who've never earned wages who can qualify for SSI. And that takes care of people, for instance, who become disabled very young, or as children, or who were homemakers but may not have those FICA taxes. But Social Security does not leave them out. We ensure that if someone is disabled, we do everything that we can to make sure that there is a benefit to assist them with food, shelter, and clothing. But here's the way that it's different from disability. It is different in the fact that people have to have low income and fewer resources. In other words, you can't have that huge bank account, or your spouse can't be making tons of money, or you can't have 5 beachfront properties upon which you do not live. So remember, this program, while it covers the disabled, is assistance, public assistance in a sense. But you know what? There's something interesting about SSI that's not true of disability. People who are 65 years of age, who happen to have low income and few resources, as we described, can get it without even being disabled. So if you know someone who is 65 or older and you think they might qualify, tell them to contact Social Security, because we're there for you to help meet your needs. Thanks a lot. Josephine, that was a great question.
That's great information. But many of the people that are viewing today might be asking, well, how do I get information in regards to Social Security disability benefits and SSI? How can I obtain more information? So I want to go ahead and show you on our website where you can get more information in regards to Social Security disability benefits, and how you can go ahead and you can also apply for those benefits online. So I want to take you over to that screen. So that's what I'm working on doing right now, navigating there, because we have lots of information. We've got publications in regards to Social Security disability. We've got publications in regards to SSI, and there's actually a one-stop quick shop on our website and our web page where you can go ahead and you can see. You click on it and you'll be able to see everything about disability. So I'm going to go
That's
ahead
great.
and get you to that right now.
Great. So much to see on our website. We invite everyone to go to ssa.gov, and you'll find not only those publications you were talking about, Josephine, but a tremendous amount of all things Social Security, whether it's disability, retirement, Medicare, you name it. So go ahead and tell us a bit more about that, Josephine, that you were speaking on with regard to the disability and the pamphlets.
Absolutely. So disability, our one-stop shop for information in regards to disability benefits. If you go ahead and click here in this box where it says disability, it's going to go ahead and take you to a page where it talks all about disability benefits. So it gives you a little bit of a background in regards to disability programs, and you can actually click here where it says apply for disability and start your application for Social Security disability benefits. And it gives you basics about disability benefits, and it tells you a little bit about the application process. And it actually has this great tool right here, this resource, Mr. Summer. If you see here, it says adult disability checklist. So if you go ahead and click on this, you can go ahead and open that. And it's actually a checklist of all of the things that we're going to ask when we take your application. So it's going to assist you in being a little bit more prepared in what you need when you are in the process of the application. So when the representative calls you, you'll already be able to be prepared because you'll already have this checklist and you'll be able to see what it is that you need. So essentially, it lets you know that we're going to need work information, we're going to need direct deposit information, we're going to need very, very important information about your medical records, your job history, education and training. So we'll need to know things like the medications that you're on, all of your disabling conditions. We're going to need to know the doctors that you've seen, and it's especially important to know the doctor's phone numbers, because that's how we're able to locate the doctor's facility, and we're able to obtain medical records in that way. Do you have anything to add to that, Mr. Summer?
That's great information, Josephine, but I'll just say this. If you do your homework and you have that adult disability checklist, you've really completed a major step in qualifying for disability or SSI. Because as a person who's taking literally thousands of those applications, those individuals that come in and they've done their homework, they've completed that checklist, whether online or they bring it to the office. Right now, during the pandemic, we're not bringing anything to the offices. But if someone were to go online and to do that, they're 10 steps ahead and they've done everything that they can do to assist themselves. It's not that complicated a form. It asks for the same information we are going to ask. So you've got advance notice and a bit of a cheat sheet so that you're ready. If only everything could be this simple. So please, if you are thinking about applying for disability or SSI, it pays to take a look at that disability adult form and that checklist. And they're invaluable in making sure that you've done all the things you can to make your interview as swift as possible or the processing of your case as efficient as possible so we can get an answer back to you regarding your disability benefit. Josie?
Absolutely. And you're even able to check the status of your application. So once you've entered in your application, you've completed your application, and you've sent it over to us, you're able to check the status of your application online as long as you create the My Social Security account. And so you can go ahead and if you go back to our main page, and see, this is all about disability benefits right here. But if you go back to our main page and you go ahead and create a My Social Security account, if you create one or you sign in if you already have an account, you're able to see the status of your application. You're able to see where it's at. And many times people ask us, Mr. Summer, I'm going to ask you this because this is the question that people ask all the time. So I submitted my application online. Where does my application go? Does a real live person receive my application, or is it just processed by the computer?
That's got to be one of the most frequently asked questions, Josephine. And this is why when people are afraid that something might go wrong, that they don't need to be, because a real live person looks at those applications, checks them out. And if we need to call you for anything regarding that application, we certainly will pick up the phone and tell you, hey, you recently filed an application. Here is the issue. But you know what? That doesn't happen as often as people think it will, because the applications are designed for you to be easily read and easily created and easily input. So we don't make this any harder than it has to be. And when you mentioned getting your status online, that's got to be the second most frequently asked question in the world, because I've had people call me the very next day and say, okay, so what's going on with my application? I understand. But when you're waiting to get a decision, you are disabled by Social Security standards, we need to pay you, or you're not. That can be a very nerve-wracking, anxious time. Do yourself a favor, create that online account, and you can check any day you want, as many times as you wish, for the duration of the wait. You might find out before we can send you a notice that your claim's been approved. So imagine self-service at its finest. Here at SSA.gov, the miracles never cease, Josephine. It's such a good thing to be able to look in anytime you wish and find out the status of your claim.
Absolutely. It's so convenient. And you mentioned the My Social Security account, and I'm going to mention it again because we love that account. And it's right here where you see this little bubble. It says My Social Security. This is where you click. You go ahead and click there and you can create your account. It's going to ask you some questions, identifying questions that only pertain to you. You'll have to answer all those questions correctly in order to move forward and create your username and password. It's going to ask you for an email address or a cell phone number, so that way it can send you a text message or an email, because this My Social Security account, our site is very, very secure. So we have a 2-pin authentication process, which means that, yes, you can go ahead and use your username and password to sign in. But in addition to that, we're going to have to send you another code to either your cell phone via text or your email, so that way every time you sign in, you're going to need to sign in with a brand new code. And that's to prevent anyone else from going into your account. So it's very safe and secure, and we definitely encourage creating that account, because not only can you check your application status, but you're able to review your earnings to see what you paid into Social Security. You're able to request a replacement Social Security card. There are so many things that you can do on there. You can update your direct deposit information, change your address. So there's just so many things. It's a one-stop shop to do your Social Security business from home in the comfort of your own home. And especially right now, since, we are not taking walk-in traffic the way we were taking it before. In order to go into one of our offices right now, it has to be an appointment that has to be made ahead of time, and it has to be a dire need situation. So most of our business is being done either online or by phone. But we want to let you know today that we are still here for you. We are still available. Social Security representatives are working remotely. We're still taking applications. If you're not comfortable doing the application online, that's okay, because you can call us and you can make an appointment and we can take the application right over the phone. So I'm going to go ahead and show you, and I know I'm spending a lot of time on this website, Mr. Summer, but I just want to show everybody exactly what they can do in order to get in contact with us, especially if they're requesting to file for those disability benefits that we started talking about today.
Well, it's great that you are on the website, because I want everyone to see that it's a lot easier than you think. Sometimes people think, oh, I got to go online, I got to click on the website, but this is a matter of seconds. And you have all the information on Social Security that you might need, because I'm talking frequently asked questions. I'm talking applications, applying for a Social Security card. Disability and SSI aren't the only things you could apply for. You could apply for spouse's benefits or retirement benefits. This website has really been taken up several notches, and I'm so glad that we have it during this pandemic. When people can't walk into our offices, you can be in our offices virtually, because we've got the information, and more importantly, it's got a portal where you can get that information easily right at your fingertips, right there at your own home, right there on your smartphone. Just check it out. And it looks like you've got the office locator, a secret weapon of the Social Security Administration up there. See, I thought you were going to unveil that later, but it's so good. Why make people wait?
Exactly. And you know what? I might actually show it again later, just so that way we get, we get to everybody in case somebody clicks on this video later on towards the end of it or towards the beginning of it. We want to show this as much as we possibly can, because we want you to be able to get a hold of us. We want you to know how to get a hold of us. So you can still reach us at the 1-800 number, which is the National Social Security Hotline. That's 1-800-772-1213. But, that number, there's many people calling that number at the same time. So sometimes there is challenges getting through. So if you do, need to get through to us and you are interested in contacting your local field office, which is the office that you would go to if you were to be doing business with us. That's your local field office that's in your zip code. You can contact us that way also. It's just another option, and you might be able to get through a little sooner if you contact your local field office. And now this local field office locator works nationwide. So wherever you are in the nation, you can enter in your zip code, and it's going to pull up the office that's in your area. Now, I'm based out of the Chicagoland area, but Mr. Summer, he's based in Indiana. So, Mr. Summer, can you give me an Indiana zip code so I can illustrate to everybody how this works?
I sure can, because even in Indiana, if we're not in the metropolis Chicago, this works wonders. And I'll give you a zip. If you're ready, you say when.
I'm ready.
How about this? 46383.
46383. And I'm going to go ahead and hit locate. And now when you hit locate, we're able to see the office associated with the zip code. And that's the Valparaiso, Indiana office. So as you can see here, you have the office phone number. This is the direct office phone number. You call that office and you're able to speak to a representative that works right out of that office. You can fax your information over if there's documents that are being required or requested from you and they're able to be faxed, then you can go ahead and fax them. Or you can mail the information because you've got the address right here where you're able to see the address. But in addition to our office information, sometimes people have questions about other agencies in the area. So sometimes we get questions about, unemployment. How do you get in contact with the unemployment office in the area? How do you get in contact with other agencies that provide assistance? Well, you can go ahead and click here where it says other agencies. And when you click there, you're able to see other agencies that their contact information that may be able to provide you with resources that you may need. So this is just another way that SSA provides assistance to individuals, because we want to make sure that you have the resources that you need in order to get a hold of who you need to get a hold of when you need to get a hold of them. And this right here is the phone number to several different resource centers in the Indiana area.
Right, and you'll get that information only on the office locator. And just another little caveat about that. The 800 number is always glad to accept your calls, but think about it. The amount of people who might be calling the 800 number, oh my God, there could be thousands, hundreds of thousands, tens of thousands, a million people. But guess what? Only people in your area are going to be calling that office in your area. So it's a secret weapon and a way that you can access the actual people who are going to be looking at and processing your claims. And isn't that great that right in your neighborhood, Social Security has an office and you can talk to that specific office instead of someone who's across the country? Now, that being said, those individuals across the country at the 800 number do a great job, but the service that you get and actually the access to all of those additional services and that information that's right in your backyard, right in your neighborhood, is accessible if you go to the field office locator. So you see how easy it is, you see how quickly it works, and you know what? I'm glad that we went up to this, because guess what? The very next question that I'm going to ask of you, Josephine, is very related to the Social Security offices.
Great. So let's go ahead and move on to our next question.
So we've covered SSI and disability. Now let's talk about this, and I'll read this one to you. Josephine, I know Social Security offices are closed, but I really need to get a benefit verification for my caseworker. If I don't get it by Friday, my food stamps and Medicaid for my kids will be cut off. Are there any other options besides calling and waiting for it to be mailed to me? Social Security offices closed, Josephine? That's what we start at.
Yeah, no, we are not closed. We are open because we're working remotely though, so we can still help you. You can call us if you have questions, you can call us if you have requests. I'm going to go back to this field office locator here because I know we showed the Indiana office, but right here is a Chicago office. I put in zip code 60661. This is the Chicago office. This is their phone number, fax number, address. You can call us. You can call us. You can get a hold of us. You can ask us those questions. And you know what? If you need the benefit verification letter and you're not comfortable requesting it online, if you call us and you request it via phone, we can send it to you right in the mail. So it will take a little bit longer to get to you. It could take about 5 to 10 business days to get to you via mail. However, if you'd like to request it, you can request it right over the phone. Your local field office will send that to you. But let me show you a much quicker way on how to get your benefit verification letter. And I love this question because you're going to be able to see, I'm going to be able to show you exactly how to get that my benefit verification letter. Just give me 1 second here.
That's great. You know, Social Security is working on more and more options to make this convenient for you. And what you'll find out is when you go on our website, sometimes people think that the documents that they print out from our website are just documents and they have to go through to Social Security to get something. But everything you print that you access through your My Social Security account, such as a benefit verification letter, is 100% an official document from Social Security. So that option exists for you to print that thing out, and it's just the same as if you'd come to our office and I'd handed it to you myself. Social Security has made sure that we've communicated with so many people so that they can understand that those documents are legit. Josephine?
Yeah, I'm so glad that you mentioned that it is a legitimate document. The benefit verification letter that you print out on our website is a legitimate document. It can be used wherever they're requesting a benefit verification letter, and they're all the standardized format now. Before was it last month or a few months ago, the letters last year used to be different depending on where you requested them from. If you requested a letter on the field office or if you requested a letter online, it might have varied slightly in format, but now all the letters are standardized, so they all look the same. So when you go to your My Social Security account, you go ahead and click here. When you create your account, you either create it or you sign in. Once you get in there, you're actually able to request your benefit verification letter for free. And it's a legitimate benefit verification letter. And you're able to print it out on the spot right away.
Did you say for free, Josephine?
Yes, I did.
That's a great thing, because sometimes people think when they come to us and they want a social security card or some kind of verification, these things do not cost you any money. And if you have people saying that they'll get your social security card, whether it's on the phone or on the internet or any social security document, if you're not contacting Social Security about very specific, more involved, hard to find documents, chances are it's a scam. Because for most of our services, you do not pay a fee. You never pay for a social security card. You never pay for a benefit verification letter. There are a few things that are more involved that you are not likely to need anyway, that there may be fees for. But you contact Social Security to find out what those things are, because we don't want people falling prey to these individuals who go up, put up a website and say, we'll do your Social Security card for $35. We'll have it to you in days. That's very attractive to people, but it's not true. All they do is send you an application that's actually free, and you still have to send it to Social Security for the proper documents. So what a lot of people pay for is, guess what? The free application we give them, and now they've wasted a lot of time, not to mention the money, in contacting someone who isn't even communicating with Social Security, and they may have your information. If you put that information there, your ID can be compromised. So always contact Social Security either through our phone number, our 800 number, the local number, or ssa.gov. Gotta have .gov, not .com, not .org. No other agency does this, but just be aware. Communicate with Social Security. Don't fall for those fly-by-night scammers who are calling people day and night trying to get their information. Don't send it to them in the hopes of getting a Social Security card quickly for $35.
Thank you for bringing that up. That's so important, because yes, there are individuals out there posing as representatives saying, or posing as Social Security saying that they're going to go ahead and process something for you for a fee. And this is free. You know, the replacement Social Security card, the benefit verification letter, that is free. You're not paying. You don't have to pay for that. And so when you do go to a website and you type in Social Security, make sure you type in ssa.gov.gov. It's so important to have the .gov behind the SSA, Social Security Administration.gov, because some sites will say socialsecurity.com or social security something else. That's not us. We are a government agency, government site. It's .gov, and if you go to .gov, you're for sure in the right place. But since we're talking about benefit verification letters, here I am on our website, and I'm able to pull up several videos that, you know, because we're on YouTube, Mr. Summer. We're on YouTube, we're on LinkedIn, we're on Twitter, we're on Facebook, we're everywhere. So you can find lots of information in regards to Social Security on all these different social media platforms. But what I want to show you right now is the video on how to get a benefit verification letter. So I'm going to go ahead and play that for you all, and I'm going to click on it here.
Need a benefit verification or proof of income letter? You may need one if you are applying for state or local benefits, a loan, mortgage, or assisted housing income. With your personal My Social Security account, getting one is quick, secure, and easy. Simply create or sign into your account by going to www.socialsecurity.gov/myaccount. Select the blue Replacement Documents link on the right side of the screen. Select Get a Benefit Verification Letter. You can customize your letter to suit your needs, then select Apply to Letter when you're finished. You can either print your letter by selecting Print Now or save it by selecting Save a Copy. Close the pop-up box when you're done. Congratulations! You've successfully gotten your benefit verification letter. If you need extra assistance in creating your account, please contact our My Social Security hotline at 1-800-772-1213 and say Help Desk. See what else you.
There you have it. That's how to obtain your benefit verification letter right off of your My Social Security account.
Very simple and very secure. Social Security not only has that two-part authentication, we had a very secure site to begin with, and we're even bucking it down even more. So we've answered that, and now you know the options on how to get that verification letter other than having it mailed.
Absolutely. So this right here, once again, we want to illustrate our website, www.socialsecurity.gov, and this is our toll-free 1-800 National Social Security hotline number. But now you know the secret. The secret's out the bag. You can contact us by using the field office locator we showed you earlier, and that's how you're going to probably get to us a lot sooner. So we want you to know that. We want you to utilize that field office locator.
Great.
So here we have another question, and this one I'm going to go ahead and ask you, Mr. Summer, because I know you are the expert in SSI. So right here we have, and disability, of course. I am trying to get disability in SSI. I talked to an attorney who said that I will win my case. Are there any tips and tricks on how to get approved?
Aha, so the shortcuts. Well, you know, lots of people talk to attorneys, and I see cases both with and without attorneys. It's not necessary for someone to have an attorney to file for disability or SSI. In fact, there's lots of detail we're going to give about that on another broadcast. But the fact that an attorney told a person that you will win your case is just something that's not ethical. You may feel good about your case, they may feel good about your case, but sometimes there are people who say, oh, we'll win this. That, you know, is actually not allowed because they can't decide. Social Security has a list of impairments and severity, and we have to look over your medical records. This is not done directly by the people you see in the Social Security office, but by the Disability Determination Service. And those are medical professionals who will gather your records, review them, look at the information that you provided during that application we spoke about earlier, and ultimately, with precision, come up with you are disabled by Social Security standards or you are not. If that is the case, that you are disabled, we begin setting up things to see how soon we can get your benefits to you. If you're denied, there is a whole process for appeals that we're going to talk about another time. But for anyone to say you will win your case or there's some guaranteed condition that you have it, you're going to get the benefits, is really not being forthcoming and honest. So when it comes to the part about are there tips and tricks, the fact is, here are all the tricks and tips you need to know. Give us all the information you can about your condition. I've often had people come into the office and they don't want to talk about some conditions. Maybe there's a stigma to that condition. They think that they don't want to tell me that they have some type of emotional or psychological problem because it's a bit embarrassing. And so they just tell us about the one thing, their bad back. That's not the best way to proceed. The tip is, tell me about all of your conditions, mental, physical, emotional, psychological, in any combination. Because guess what? We want the whole picture of your condition so we can really honestly evaluate whether or not you are disabled. And you're doing yourself a disservice if you hold back anything. We want to take that case and give as much detail as possible to the information so that when we send it to the Disability Determination Service, those medical pros really know what's going on. And always answer your letters and mails. That's another trick or tip that I want to give you, because Often people get called for different things, a consultative examination, more information, what have you. These are the things that can delay or maybe prevent your case from being processed as quickly or as accurately or as fairly as you like. So just remember, those are the things that matter, making sure we can always get in touch with you. So if you move, that's another tip. I've seen and met lots of people, Josephine, who they file for disability, they get approved several months later, and I want to pay them, and guess what? I can't find them. So, of all the things you do, those are a few great tips and information. Josephine, do you have anything you'd like to add to that?
Absolutely. I want to take us back to that website because I want to take this opportunity to show people how to get publications in regards to disability benefits and SSI. I know we mentioned it earlier on in this presentation. We talked about how to get that you can get publications on our website, but now I want to show you how to do that. I don't want to miss that. I want to take you here to our website, and if you scroll down, you see these blue boxes right here. You can click on publications. Once you click on publications, you can type in SSI, and it's going to give you information in regards to SSI here. So these are publications. You may be able to get supplemental Social Security income SSI, and this gives you information. So this is another great tip, to just be informed. You can read this information right off of our website. If you click on the PDF, you'll get the publication. But if you want to go ahead and listen to it audio, you can do that too. I know I love to listen to audiobooks. I love to listen to things. So this is a great way. You can go ahead and click audio. You could put in your earphones and you're able to hear this publication as you're doing other things in your house, or whatever it is that you may be doing in your busy life. You can also listen to it via audio. And so this one right here, supplemental security income, is a great one. It's SSI, talks all about SSI benefits, and you can learn about the program's eligibility requirements and the income and resource limits and how to apply for benefits. So this is a great one as well.
I noticed that tab says other languages.
Yes, I am so glad that you pointed that out, Mr. Summer, because yes, in addition to listening to this via audio or reading it PDF, you can listen or you can read it in other languages, the publication. So if I'm gonna go ahead and click on here where it says other languages. So here we have this particular publication in Spanish audio and in Spanish PDF. So some publications have more of a variety of languages, and some are limited to Spanish, but we do have tons of other publications that have lots of other languages as well. So please check that out, because I'm so glad that you brought that up, because there are other languages that we have these publications available in.
Anytime you speak to Social Security, everyone, we speak your language, more than 150 of them. So if you need an interpreter, Social Security can provide it for you. If you have an interview and English is not your first language or the language you're most comfortable with, that's okay. We serve everyone at Social Security, and we will meet you with your language, because if you have paid into Social Security, or even if you have not, it is our duty to ensure that you understand the benefits that are available to you or might be available to yourself and your family. So don't be shy. If you need an interpreter because your English is kind of like my Spanish, Josephine, and not so great anymore, then we'll meet you there, because the best way we can be with you throughout life's journey is to be able to communicate with you in the language that you're most comfortable. So great information there. Thank you very much, Josephine, for pointing those pamphlets out and how to get a hold of our PDFs.
Absolutely. And you know what? If you're an advocate listening to this, or if you're an organization listening to this YouTube video right now, or watching us on your television screen, you can order these publications for your organization, for your community. If you go ahead and you click order here, you can request via email. If you click on this email, it's going to come up with the email address of Social Security that actually supplies these publications. So you can request a few hundred publications in regards to disability benefits, or however many that you may need. There are some limits on some of them, but you can definitely request it, and we can let you know if we can fulfill your request or not. But you could request publications in regards to disability benefits, SSI, retirement, Medicare, whatever it is that your organization, community may need. You can request these publications so that you can have them on the spot in case somebody needs them and they would like them, and you've got a facility where you can go ahead and host them. So I
And
just
what's
wanted
the
to put
price,
that out in case
Josephine?
we've got. Oh, I'm so glad you always ask that, Mr. Summer. They are free. They
That's
are
the right
free.
price.
An abundance. Yes, an abundance of knowledge. It's a gold mine of knowledge that we have here on our website, and the information is free. So, we want you to know that it's available to you. We want our community advocates, our, organizations that work with us, collaborate with us, and just assist the communities. We want them to know the resources that they have available to them too. So I'm so glad that you brought, the publications up, and that you brought the fact that, they're at no cost. We don't charge for them. So you can definitely obtain these resources for free, which is a great price, right?
That's about as good as I could have negotiated on my best day. So great. And we know that organizations and agencies do a lot of great things. Lots of people shelter the homeless, abused women and children and individuals. Tons and tons of great social work being done out there. And nobody can highlight it any more than this pandemic has, and how vital these services are. And we want to make sure that you know how to access our services and what services we offer in detail. So those publications are available to you. We'll ship them to you. It doesn't cost you anything for shipping and handling, doesn't cost you anything for the pamphlets and the information itself. Just as much as a phone call to Social Security, we give you the information because the American public deserves it. Thanks a lot. Now, I know there's another question, Josephine, and it's a good one. This is a question about SSI. So let's.
And I know you like SSI.
Yeah. Are you going to read this one to me? Because you know how much I like these questions.
You know I am. So I'm going to go ahead and go for it. I just turned 62, and I have received SSI since my illness at age 50. I was looking at an amount of retirement money I will get from Social Security at age 62, and I've decided to wait until I'm 66 at my full retirement age to file. Can I do this? I'm on SSI right now, but I want to delay my Social Security retirement benefit.
Okay, this is a great question, and I can understand the strategy of waiting, because lots of people exercise it when they're applying for retirement benefits. They're thinking, how do I get more, or what have you? But remember, retirement benefits and SSI, or disability and SSI for that matter, have some important differences. And the main difference is SSI is assistance and it's help. Now, right now, you're receiving SSI, and you've received it since you were age 50. When you were 50, you were too young to take retirement because you have to be 62. So it makes perfectly good sense that you were on SSI until the time you'd be eligible to retire. However, because SSI is assistance, if there is any other program, whether it's disability or retirement or survivors or spouses or what have you, that you can get and that is available to you, you have to take that before you can get the assistance program. So as soon as you're eligible for retirement, if you're getting SSI already at 62, you must apply for the benefit. Now, I know some people say, but wait, I'm going to get less. But that's not necessarily a bad thing, because you may be getting, of course you will be getting, a lower overall benefit at 62 as opposed to age 66. But remember, you get it over a longer period of time. So while that person's waiting until 66 to apply, while their benefit grows, they get nothing in retirement. But in this instance, the answer is you must apply for retirement, in this case, if you are eligible. as soon as you turn 62? But it's a great, great question. Would you like to add anything to that, Josephine?
Yes, that is a great question, and we do get that question quite frequently from individuals. And, it is true that, as soon as you do turn age 62, and if you are receiving SSI, you do need to draw from your Social Security retirement benefit, because SSI, like you mentioned, is a needs-based program for individuals with limited income and resources. And I want to go ahead and show individuals in regards to SSI, since we're talking about SSI, I want to talk about or show everybody on our site where we've got a section where it's called SSI Spotlight. So this is a great page that we have. And what you do is you go ahead and you click it, you go into the website, and you can type in SSI Spotlight, and it's going to go ahead and take you to just different things in regards to SSI. So I'm going to go ahead and try to get you to my screen here, so that way you can see what I'm looking at.
That's great.
So
I've seen SSI Spotlight, and it's a gold mine.
Yes. So you just go ahead and you type in, so this is Understanding SSI homepage. And here we've got a homepage of just everything SSI. And down here, you can see individual spotlight links. So this just an abundance of information. And I know it's a lot of information, but it's a lot of great information. You've got here reporting your earnings to Social Security. It tells you how to do that. Living arrangements, resources, rights and responsibilities. So these are your SSI spotlight links, and there's just tons of information. So if you are interested in learning more about SSI, you can go ahead and just type in SSI into the search engine up here. You just type in SSI, and you're going to be able to find lots of information in regards to SSI. So right here, SSI resources. What are resources? Many people ask us this. Well, what are you looking at when you're asking us what resources are? So when you're applying for SSI and we're asking you about your resources, we want to know things that you own, such as cash, bank accounts, stocks, U.S. savings bonds, land, life insurance, personal property, vehicles, anything else that you own which could be changed into cash and used for food or shelter, and deemed resources. And then it goes on and on to different information, different resources that you may have, and it asks, it lets you know what the resource limit is here. And it says countable resources is $2,000 for an individual and $3,000 for a couple. And this is something that many people ask us in regards, they ask us, well, what are the resource limits? Well, here you have it. These are the resource limits, and they're right on the web page. So it's just tons of information right here that you can go ahead and find if you would like to go ahead and do a little bit of research on our website. It's right on our website. So I just wanted to show everybody how they can find information in regards to the SSI and the SSI Spotlight.
That is great, Josephine. I know that sometimes our programs seem very complicated to the public, and in some instances, to be honest, they are. But there's a lot of details and a lot of assistance. We'll give it to you, but there's some things you can avail yourself of online. If we're off hours and some strange question pops into your head about your SSI benefit, SSI Spotlight is the place to be in that instance. And you can read just a plethora of things that are explained and broken down into plain language. Like you said, we use that term resources all over, but what does it really mean? It's right there. Income, well, what we count as income, what we may not count as income, what you might think is income, but actually is not, or is a resource. It's all there so you can know how to best manage your SSI benefit. We love the fact that people can research on their own and still get it from the source, because so many people really intend to help people with their SSI or disability cases, and they have the best of intentions, but they don't work for SSA. They don't work for Social Security. They aren't training. You remember those 2 years of grueling training before you could even get started? It was like Social Security University we go through. So when you get advice from a friend or family member, that's their understanding of it. Without the training, They may mean well. Hey, they may even get a few right, but we have so many exceptions and details to all the Social Security rules that you wouldn't believe it. We have an online manual full of things that people may or may not expect to be the case. So get it from the horse's mouth, get it from the source. Come to ssa.gov or contact Social Security directly and get your information from us. That way, you know that it's right. Josephine?
Absolutely. I mean, all this information that we have, and like you said, it could be overwhelming because it's so much information. But, you know, it takes us here a long time at the agency, at Social Security Administration, to learn all of these things. And, you know, so we understand it can get complicated. The information can be a lot, but it's definitely there for you on our website. And we try to make it as user-friendly and as easy to understand as possible. But keep in mind, if you still have questions and you want to double check something that you read, or, you know, there's something that you need to know in particular because you have a situation right now where you either need to apply for benefits or you want to know about your own benefits, you can call us because we are still open. That is one of the important messages that we want to get out to you today and every day, is that we are open. We're available for you. You can contact us. You can contact us, the national 1-800 number, which is 1-800-772-1213, or you can contact us by using that field office locator. So I want to go back into that screen because I want to show you all that field office locator again. If you go here where it says COVID-19 updates, it's like a mustard yellow orange tab at the very top of our webpage. Go ahead and click on that. That right there is going to give you all of our updates, everything that's changing with our offices, our policies, anything that's new. It's going to give you this information right here. So we encourage you to check out this update section right here, COVID-19 updates. You can even subscribe to this page. So if you subscribe via email or via text, you are going to get instant messages as far as any changes that are with the offices. So once the office status is changed, you'll get that information because you've subscribed. Or if there's a new policy change or something new that's happening with Social Security, you're going to get that update right away. So we encourage you to subscribe to that. But right here, getting help from Social Security. If you click here, you're able to see the different questions that people may have asked, different things that we're assisting you with, different things that have changed. And if you see right here, you're going to see there's a link. It says local field, local office. So you click on local office. This is your field office locator again. This is where you enter in your zip code. 60661 is a Chicago zip code. I'm going to click on locate. And you're going to find that this is the address to the local field office associated with this zip code. So any zip code that you are in, you can go ahead and use this, put your zip code in, find your office line, direct line, find their address and their fax number. Please use this. Please reach out to us if you have questions because we are still available to you and we want you to know that.
That's great information. And that's also the end of our show for today. We've answered some of your questions about disability and SSI, but rest assured, we know there are many, many more questions about disability and SSI, and we'll be returning with more of those, as well as information about retirement, spouses benefits, widows and widowers benefits, Social Security cards, you name it. If it's Social Security, it's the Social Security Show. Josephine and Daniel, thank you so much for your attendance.
Thank you, everyone. Happy holidays. And we'll see you again next week on Social Security's show with CAN TV.